Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part two. I kind of made a fatal error in that last one because I didn't rotate the very first one. So we're going to use the ellipse tool. I still got it set on 180. I'm going to hold down the control button. I'm going to use a little ellipse. I'm going to go ahead and mirror it because I like working with it like that. I'm going to go to Effects and Contour the outside 0.05, just give a little bit of contour. Then I'm going to set my nudge factor on something. This thing is only less than 2 inches. I'm going to set my nudge factor on 2 inches. I'm going to take red I'm going to use red on the outside. And then I'm going to nudge it out of the way. And by doing that, I don't have to worry about the lines of the contour or even breaking the contour apart. And what I did not do on that first one is I'm going to control G and group it. I did not angle it enough. So I'm going to angle it there. And because we're going to use the transformation or transform docker, we don't have to make a duplicate. I'm going to transform, get the rotation, but I'm going to move the rotation about here, rotate it, and we have that right there. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to control G and group that together. I'm going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. This is why I like working with the center of the page all the time. I'm going to go ahead and move it out of the way. Well, I'll tell you what, let me put it back. And I am going to draw a polygon, a 12-sided polygon inside that. Holding down the control button to get a perfect one, hit P. I want it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to hold down the shift key and make it grow. Now, I'm going to take the shape tool of the polygon and make it a sharper point. Then I'm going to turn more than a hairline, so it'll just be a little bit thicker. And now, because it's selected, I can grab the twirl tool. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'll make it 4.25 inches. So it's still selected. I'm going to get right in the center. I'm going to twirl those lines pretty radically. I'm actually going to lower that line thickness down. Let me get back to the pick tool. Make our line thick a little bit thinner. There we go. That looks pretty good. Got a little funny shape, but it works. Now I'm going to control G and group that together. Now let's see, we have blue in the center, so we're going to take our Smart Fill tool and fill it in with blue. And now, still doesn't look as good as original. I don't think I have the same amount of slope. Control, grab it all, Control G and group it together. Then I'm going to hit P, set it off this side, and maybe go up about that side. I realize I'm a little bit too big, so I'm going to lower the size down. And because I'm going to use the transformation docker, I do not have to. I'm going to bring this indexing line. I do not have to, and I'm going to hit P again, and then holding down the control button, bring this up. And then double click on it, move our rotation in the center. Doesn't look like it is, but it is. And I'm going to rotate it. So I'm not quite big enough. So I'm going to make my object a little bit bigger. Holding down the shift key, it'll grow from the outside. Grab her and see it change the rotation area and rotate it. We want the flowers just barely touching. So I'm doing a little better job than the one before. That looks pretty good. I still like the first one the best. We are going to hit the plus sign and make a copy of that. And then we are going to, while this is apart, I'm going to go ahead and make a boundary of that guy. Move the boundary out of the way for just a second. I'm going to go ahead, because now I'm going to have to group this together. Control G. I'm going to make this one quite a bit smaller. And I'm going to do just like I did in the previous video. Let's zoom in here so you can see it. I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate. And move it down by holding down the control button, and then Control D, Control D, Control D. All you need is to fill up this space. I'm going to go the other direction so I won't run into my object. I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate, but this time I'm going to offset them kind of like in their own spot. Now we can Control D again and set it back up about there. And then when you Control D across the board, you'll get this shape. Now go up to Object and group this together. We need to make a shape of that inside. So I made a shape of the inside. And I might have no, I don't have a leak. So I can left click, right click, it doesn't matter what color. I'm going to grab our object, go up to Object, Power Clip, Place Inside Frame, and now I have that inside. I can hit P and put it in the center of the page. And I did a lot of several different things in the other video, but here is our, if you remember, this is our boundary. We're going to make and you can make it any color you want, Smart Fill tool, make it a light purple. Probably like that right there. Fill that in and now hit P, and then go to Object, Order, Back a Page. So now everything is either a blue or a purple inside there. I still like the original one better. But it's kind of fun to play around with stuff like this. Hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.